My name is David Preston and I'm playing Robbie Robertson. I have to say, definitely meeting the rest of the cast. I've only been in theatre for a tiny little while, and a very small area, so expanding that and meeting all these very, very talented people, it's been so much fun. Yeah, definitely meeting my co-cast. They're a great bunch of people and it's just been a great adventure so far. It was extremely difficult, actually. I mean, everyone has an idea of what they think it might be like, but the fact is we'll never truly know. There's only so much that we can personally experience and put forward as to what they felt in those moments, whether they were frightened or not. It's been a struggle, definitely, but definitely an intense journey, not only for myself, really putting myself in the shoes of somebody that had to go through those, images of hell, basically, at such a young age. So, yeah. Very much so, yeah. I mean, I still remember the first day that I met Michael, which was a little under a month ago now. After reading the script before I even met him, I realized, wow, I've got to have a very good connection with this other person, whether it's off stage or on stage. And I have to say, he's a wonderful, wonderful human being, so funny and the friendliest guy. And I think that's really helped in the connection between not only his character and mine, but both of us, like I said, off stage. The first moment he walked in, he was this cheery, happy guy, and right off the bat, I knew this guy's a really nice guy. I'm going to enjoy working with him. So yeah, that's definitely helped. I have many family stories and quite a few connections to World War One. In particular, on my mother's side of the family, her grandfather, so my great-grandfather, Keith McWhorter, he was a stretcher bearer in the infantry at Gallipoli. He also served on the Western Front. He was very young when he joined up. Like most boys back there, they were spun a story of great adventure and seeing the world, and which they did, but it wasn't to the images of what they thought it was going to be. He was very lucky. He made it home, but he was definitely not ever himself. He struggled an awful lot, from what I was told, with getting his mindset back together. He was very lucky in the sense that he found my great-grandmother, and they had many wonderful children. One of which is my grandfather. But his stories really helped put into perspective of how dangerous it was. Some of the stories he had when he was at Gallipoli, he saved his platoon leader who was shot. He had his leg blown off. He ran out of the trench and grabbed him and pulled him back on an open field. One night they got lost walking through the trenches and found themselves actually hearing people speaking in Turkish and German. They'd wandered into the enemy trenches without even realizing it and had to get back. I unfortunately never got to meet him. I would have loved to. And I suppose that fills me with a certain amount of pride and courage, knowing that I'm related to him. It certainly helped me. But yeah, he went through an awful lot. And that's just some of the many stories that he had that he was frightened to tell. But I'm glad he had the courage and the strength to eventually voice what happened. Yeah. I certainly hope they take away a certain amount of joy as well as sadness. It's the kind of show that gives you both. It's got wonderful Australian humour in it that we all know and love, as well as great sadness. The camaraderie between Robbie and Jack as something to really admire and see that that young boys were like that back then. You know, they were thrown into this experience and they got along and really fought together side by side as brothers. So I'm hoping, yeah, audience members take away happiness as well as sadness, but also the knowledge that war is not something that we should look at in pride for sacrifice, but great sadness in that these people gave their lives and their souls to fight for something that was, they thought and hoped was bigger than themselves.